If you're a horseback riding instructor who still chooses to use the Peacock style safety stirrup, please make sure that you watch this video in full, share it with other instructors that you know, share it with students that you teach, because we're going to be talking about how we need to manage the stirrup during the dismount portion of our lessons. And I'm going to be showing my recommended way of how and where to put the stirrup during the dismount. And I'm also going to show you a common but not recommended place to be putting the stirrup leather and stirrup during the dismount. My name is Sabra Popoli. I'm the owner and founder of Hoof Falls and Footfalls, and I've been teaching both traditional and adaptive, or also called therapeutic, horseback riding lessons for almost 18 years now. And thankfully, early on in my career, I had some wonderful mentors give me a heads up about the Peacock stirrup and the known safety issues that can happen during the dismount portion of the lesson. So I taught for a good 10, 12 years or so, using Peacock stirrups all the time in my lessons. And a few years ago, I decided to phase them out due to the known safety risks during the dismounts, and just also the other really weird freak things that have kind of happened with them, of just taking them out of the factor and using a different type of safety stirrup where I'm not going to have to worry about those issues. But I do know that other instructors still do choose to use these stirrups, so I want to pass on this really important information to you. And like I said before, please, please, please share this information with other instructors so that we don't have any more students getting hurt by this style of stirrup if you guys are choosing to use these still, okay? So before we get into showing you the recommended and not recommended way, thank you so much for tuning into Hoof Falls and Footfalls. And my way of saying thank you is down below in the comments. There is a free download, and there's a few different things in there, something for you, something for your students, and something for your program. So I hope you find those pieces useful. My free gift to you, feel free to pass them on to other instructors as well. And if you are enjoying this content, not only give it a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, but you can also thank the members of the Intuitive Instructor Club, because thanks to the Intuitive Instructor Club, I'm able to provide content like this on my YouTube channel to get this free information out to fellow instructors like you. And a video like this, oh, by the way, has been in the Intuitive Instructor Club for several years, and I want to make it available to you now, but oh, by the way, if you want access to a whole video database of other videos, live classes that I teach monthly, and a fellow community of other instructors, please make sure you check out the Intuitive Instructor Club. When dismounting horses, it's pretty common for instructors to just go ahead and ask their students to take their foot out of the stirrup, and then they'll manage their reins, leg up and over, and slide down. However, with the Peacock stirrups, this is not a safe way to dismount if we have the stirrup here. And the reason why is because as that student comes down and comes off the side of their horse, if that stirrup is still hanging down, the hook or the nub could get caught on a shirt, a belt, other pieces of clothing, even a body part if we didn't rotate far enough forward so that we're facing towards that horse and coming down on our hip. So to avoid this dangerous hang up, which is much more common with our shorter students because his feet aren't going to be on the ground by the time he gets hung up on the stirrup, is we have to manage the stirrup during the dismount. So what that would look like if I was an instructor who had to help my student, so either a beginner rider who's just coming to start taking lessons with me, or maybe one of my adaptive riding students who has special needs and needs a little bit more support, is I would have them take their feet out of the stirrup, and then before we begin the dismount, I'm going to move my stirrup leather and stirrup iron forward out of the way. And that then allows my student to come down during the dismount, and this is totally taking the stirrup out of the way where they can't get hung up on it. This works on a dressage style, close contact, all-purpose, any type of kind of English or dressage style saddle. So ideally, I don't want to always have to be doing this as an instructor, and I want to get my student involved in moving their stirrup. And this is really, really important if your students are going to be using this tack out on their own, say they own their own horse or they lease a horse and they're not going to be under instructor supervision, they have got to know how to safely manage these stirrups. So if that were the case and I were wanting my student to learn how to do it himself, so he's going to go ahead and put his reins into one hand. Go ahead and take your foot out. Good. Gently move your stirrup leather in front of your saddle. Good. And then we would recenter up and then proceed with our dismount. A little heads up so you can roll with the flow, especially with our adaptive horseback riding students, is even though we only need to put the stirrup leather and stirrup in front of our knee block or thigh roll on one side, a lot of times our students, because they like things symmetrical and the same on both sides, they'll want to put both sides forward before they start their dismount. Totally okay, not something I'm going to pick a fight over. If they want to do both sides, all right, cool, good job, and then we can proceed with that dismount. So just a little heads up there, if you do see your student wanting to do both, I don't think that's a battle we need to fight, and they can do both. It's extra practice on both sides. So this here is the way that I recommend moving the stirrup out of the way. And this is because as that student is coming down, the stirrup leather and stirrup are fully out of the way. The other popular location that I see people talk about a lot that I do not recommend is taking the stirrup from hanging down here. Go ahead and lift your hands up and crossing it over the wither in front of the saddle. Why I do not recommend this is, yes, it's out of the way. However, I have seen this happen more than one time with different students, different instructors. Ask me how I know. Is that what happens is as that student is coming down, something happens where this stirrup leather might get grabbed. They might catch the stirrup on their hand, especially if it's a really short stirrup leather and the stirrup's right there. And that stirrup can come over and hit the student in the head, hit the instructor in the head. Just not a great situation. So I do not recommend crossing the stirrup in front of the saddle to get it out of the way. So again, ending on the correct way, and we'll show you a dismount here as well. We'll get you off of our horse, okay? Is if we have foot in. Okay, Carson, can you go ahead and take your foot out of the stirrup? Very good. Go ahead and move your stirrup leather in front of the saddle. Very nice. You're not quite tall enough to hold those reins yet, or do you think you can hold on to them? Okay, so we're gonna leave reins here. Good. Okay, leg up and over. Good, and we're gonna slide down. Look at her ears. And you can see that as he comes down, he stayed out of the way, and that stirrup was safely managed as well. All right, thank you for helping. I appreciate it. Thanks again for watching. I really hope this information was helpful to you. Let me know down in the comments below if this is something that you've already done or if it's new information to you. I'd love to hear. Make sure you also grab that freebie I talked about, so check out the link and I will go ahead and send that straight to your inbox, and hopefully that information was helpful to you. Follow me on Facebook. Lots of fun stuff over there, quizzes, discussions, all that good stuff. And then you can also learn more about what I offer through Hoof Falls and Footfalls at hooffallsandfootfalls.com. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next episode of Hoof Falls and Footfalls.